The world of organized crime in the Southern Hemisphere looks nothing like it did in the grease-soaked biker days of the 1970s. By early 2026, Comanchero Motorcycle Club is no longer just an outlaw bikie gang. It has evolved into a polished, transnational crime machine. Leather vests and oil-stained denim have given way to designer suits, Balenciaga sneakers, and clouds of expensive cologne. Local clubhouses have been replaced by encrypted digital command hubs, luxury villas in Spain, and high-end apartments in Dubai. To understand who really runs the Comancheros in 2026, you have to look past the public faces. Power now sits with a mix of shadow figures operating offshore, image-conscious Gucci gangsters, and a rotating lineup of domestic presidents constantly under the microscope of Australian law enforcement. This breakdown traces how the club's leadership evolved, highlights the most notorious figures who survived prison sentences and assassination attempts, and explains the systems that still allow the yellow and black empire to dominate across Australia, New Zealand, and the wider Pacific, the genesis of an outlaw empire. To grasp why the names running the club in 2026 carry so much weight, you have to go back to the beginning. The Comancheros were founded in Sydney sometime between 1968 and 1973 by William George Jock Ross, a Scottish immigrant inspired by the 1961 John Wayne film The Comancheros. Ross built the club on strict discipline, military-style hierarchy, and absolute loyalty principles that still shape the club today. Even as its image has shifted toward luxury and global reach, the club's violent reputation was sealed in 1984 during the Milpera massacre, a Father's Day shootout with the Bandidos that became one of the darkest moments in Australian criminal history. Decades later, the 2009 Sydney airport brawl marked another turning point. In full public view, Comancheros and Hells Angels clashed in a brutal fight that shocked travelers and authorities alike. The death of Anthony Zervas that day triggered sweeping police crackdowns, long prison sentences for senior members, and a forced rethink of how the club operated. That tension between public bravado and strict operational secrecy still defines Comanchero leadership in 2026. The Triumvirate and the digital pivot, the shift from a local bikie gang to a global criminal network, accelerated under Mark Bedell. After Dux and Gakaru fled Australia in 2011, Bedell took control and pushed the club into aggressive international expansion. Under his leadership, the Comancheros planted roots across Southeast Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. By 2016, police and intelligence agencies described the club as being run by a triumvirate: Melbourne President Mick Murray, National Sergeant Adams Trick Zot, and Sydney President Alan Meehan. Traditional clubhouses had become magnets for raids, surveillance, and arrests. The solution was distance. Leadership began operating from overseas safe havens like Dubai and northern Cyprus, relying on encrypted communication to control drug trafficking and other operations. Back in Australia, this model of remote control, leadership in the shadows, put soldiers at home, laid the foundation for the structure seen in 2026. Today, some of the club's most powerful figures haven't set foot on Australian soil in years. The current command, who holds the reins in 2026? As of February 2026, the Comancheros' leadership is split into two clear layers. At the top are the so-called world commanders, figures who oversee strategy from overseas sanctuaries beyond Australia's immediate legal reach. Beneath them are the national presidents, tasked with running daily operations on the ground and absorbing the full force of police pressure, surveillance, and prosecution. Noah Bones Ramsey, the supreme commander in Dubai by 2026. The most powerful man inside the Comanchero hierarchy is Noah Bones Ramsey. Once a low-profile Sydney bikie, Ramsey quietly relocated to Dubai and rose to the very top of the club's global structure. He was appointed Supreme Commander after Dux and Gakaru was arrested by Turkish authorities in early 2023. Marking a decisive shift in how the club is run, Ramsey represents the polished corporate face of the modern Comancheros. He keeps a low public profile, avoids attention, and is known for his ability to manage the complex logistics of international crime without drawing unnecessary heat. Dubai, long favored by Australian crime figures for its luxury lifestyle and distance from Australian law enforcement, provides the perfect base. From there, Ramsey is believed to oversee the club's worldwide drug supply chains, coordinating shipments that stretch from South America through Europe and into ports like Melbourne and Tauranga. Under his leadership, the Comancheros have moved away from loud street-level violence and toward quiet, high-value trafficking, less noise, More money. Alex Varre, the world commander in Spain, while Ramzia controls the big picture from the Middle East. Alex Varre acts as the Comancheros' key power broker in Europe. Spanish bikie. Bayar's elevation to the top international ranks in 2023 signaled just how deeply the club had embedded itself into European drug routes. Bayar is highly visible, often posting on social media wearing a world commander patch on his Comanchero cut, flanked by large groups of patched members across Spain. But his role goes far beyond image. His connection to senior Australian figures dates back years. In 2019, Varre was photographed at a bikie gathering in Spain alongside Alan Mian, confirming his place within the inner circle. In 2026, Varre is central to the club's push into the Mediterranean, where Comancheros compete in, at times collaborate, with groups like the Hells Angels for control of Europe's cocaine trade. Domestic leadership. The Gucci gangster of Melbourne back in Australia. Holding the title of national president is one of the most dangerous jobs in the underworld. The position often comes with rapid arrests, strict control orders, or long prison sentences. As of February 2026, that role belongs to Bamir Benji S.A. Racevik. Bamir Benji Sarashevic, a house painter in a Lamborghini Zarasis Rise, captures everything about the modern Comanchero image. Based in Melbourne, he joined the club in 2013 and previously served as treasurer of the Melbourne chapter. Officially, his listed occupation is a house painter. Unofficially, his lifestyle tells a very different story. Sarashevic made national headlines when he arrived at the Comanchero National Rally in Holland. Notorious driving a $700,000 Lamborghini, this open display of wealth reflects the Gucci gangster culture embraced by today's Comancheros, a style pushed heavily by figures like Trick Zot. Designer clothes, supercars, and social media visibility are now used as status symbols and recruitment tools. Sarashevic is considered one of the most connected bikies in the country, maintaining close ties with former heavyweights Mick Murray and Alan Mian. Under his leadership, the club's power base has increasingly shifted toward Victoria. Trick Zot, the hard-to-kill fugitive of 2026, few names carry as much weight or fears. Trick Zot, once the national sergeant-at-arms, Zot became a near-mythical figure after surviving a brutal assassination attempt in 2022. Shot 10 times inside a Sydney gym, he lived but lost vision in one eye. Within the club, survival became his legend. The 2026 manhunt. By early February 2026, Zot is once again on the run. After being released from prison in late 2024, his parole was revoked following a series of violent incidents at Melbourne's Love Machine nightclub. The venue, described by authorities as a Comanchero stronghold, descended into chaos when Zot was caught on camera fighting security staff. As of February 9, 2026, both NSW Police and the Australian Federal Police are actively hunting Zot. Investigators believe he is moving between Sydney and Melbourne, constantly shifting locations to evade the Raptor Squad. Underworld warfare. The murder of Niddle Etricoke. Shadow of violence still looms large in 2026, largely due to the fallout from the 2024 murder of Niddle Etricoke. The 33-year-old Comanchero associate was shot dead in Surrey Hills, Sydney. Shortly after returning to Australia from overseas, Etricoke believed the danger had passed following a failed kidnapping attempt in 2023. Instead, he was ambushed outside a restaurant on Cleveland Street in a brazen daylight attack that sent shockwaves through the Sydney underworld. The murder investigation has since expanded into an international manhunt for 31-year-old Harley Johan, a Sydney rapper known as YC Uzi. In February 2026, Johan released a music video filmed in Bali that stunned both police and the public. The Mark Buttle trial and the Annam legacy. No serious look at Comanchero leadership in 2026 is complete without Mark Buttle. Even though he has been locked up since his extradition from Turkey in 2022, his shadow still hangs over the club. Buttle is currently on trial, accused of importing $40 million worth of cocaine into Melbourne using the ANOM encrypted messaging APAN app that users believed was secure, but was secretly controlled by the FBI and Australian Federal Police, while Buttle himself sits behind bars. The Comancheros of 2026 no longer function like a traditional motorcycle club. What exists today is a decentralized, business-style operation built around profit insulation and risk control. Serious Crime Prevention Orders, SCPOs. One of law enforcement's most effective tools against the club has been the Way of Serious Crime Prevention Order. Senior figures like Alan Mian and Trick Zot have been hit with these orders. which effectively cut leaders off from their own organization. Under an SC, a member can be banned from using encrypted messaging, associating with other gang members, holding more than one bank account, carrying more than minimal amounts of cash. The form of legal decapitation has forced the club to adapt. In 2026, much of the real work is handled by so-called clean skins, people with no criminal records who manage finances, logistics, and communication without triggering police attention or breaching court orders. The future of the Comancheros. Resilience and fractures. 2026 unfolds. The Comanchero Motorcycle Club faces its most unstable period yet. Constant arrests and leadership turnover have created internal tensions, particularly between factions aligned with figures like Mick Murray and Alan Meehan. These power struggles occasionally spill over, threatening the unity of the club. Keeping the structure alive, the modern Comanchero is no longer just a bikie. It's a hybrid, part old-school brotherhood, part digital cartel. The club has survived the ANOM sting assassination attempts on senior figures and the near-total dismantling of its New Zealand leadership. For police names like Noah Ramsey, Alex Vawar, and Bamir Sarashevich present a constantly moving target, one that demands international cooperation and aggressive legal tactics. For the streets, the yellow and black still signal power, survival, and an empire that refuses to collapse. The story of the Comancheros in 2026 is one of constant reinvention. Whether it's a rapper taunting police from a Bali villa or a so-called house painter rolling up in a $700,000 Lamborghini, the club has rewritten the meaning of outlaw in the modern era. They're no longer just on motorcycles. They're in ports, boardrooms, and encrypted clouds, and they show no signs of disappearing anytime soon.